this again. Welcome back to Headhunter. Today I'll be grinding another 500 points, and you won't be seeing most of that. But that is not to say you're getting off easy. Oh no, I'm going to show you something worse than Headhunter. I'm going to show you its sequel. But I won't let's play it, and you don't want it let's played. Because there is one thing present in this game missing from that one, and it's the news. Yep, I guess not being even a brief Dreamcast exclusive, it was a PS2 and Xbox game, took a bit of a bite out of the budget. Oh, wait a minute, I think I found my new grinding straight. This looks like a good street, and next to no crossings. So anyway, the sequel is this gritty, cyberpunk, post-apocalyptic, humorless pile of bollocks. And it really doesn't have any zany left in it, and it plays even worse. Let's look at the first bit of gameplay in it, shall we? Wait, is that the Twin Towers in the 2003 game? By the way, lore-wise, this is supposed to be the world after a massive earthquake that leveled entire cities.
Produce, farm, prosper, purchase, above, the place you want to be.
You know, we're not watching the cutscenes. Screw them. As you can see, the graphical style has changed. Instead of a bright action movie poster style, we have shades of grey and bloom fucking everywhere. And this is our character. She's called Lisa X. X is one letter. Lisa is spelled naturally L-E-E-Z-A. Luckily they spell it out on the cover, so if you were to pick up the disc, you would immediately see Lisa X and go look for something else, with more class, like Stretch Panic. And by the way, I can finally control my camera with a stick. It's running a bit slow because I forgot to switch the emulator renderer to hardware. On the other hand, this makes it easier to compare the two games. The image on that screen might seem familiar. Funny, but Redemption seems stretched sideways. Probably a side effect of them taking out the 60Hz PAL option from this one. We need this. A hard startup sequence. I think I've seen it in one of the more popular games of the time. I'm trying to remember the controls here. Redemption is overall less awkward in that regard. I love the way they switched to rotating pickups after the realistic hand-play stuff in the first game. And here we can see that automatic jumping is rather picky. You'll see how small a difference in angle changes things. But this is not really what I want to show here. Stop it. We still have this mandatory lock-on targeting system. I wish I could simply free aim or something. And I'm still trying to find the exact key to find the game's proper menu, but it escapes me. I think we managed to skip the tutorial prompt reminding me about it. And the tutorial reminders are in the menu. Anyway, let's move on to the best part. We can scan shit in this game. Yes. Would you be surprised to learn this came out about a year after Metroid Prime? There is no database, there's just scanning stuff for your amusement. And only some things can be scanned. Let's take a look at the TV screen now. It's the TV news logo from the first game, only the texture is mirrored. That's how much they cared. And here's another thing showing us how much they cared. A punching bag for practicing hand-to-hand combat. Well, let's do it. As usual, hitting people is done by the same button as shooting. So, despite being explicitly labeled as something for hand-to-hand combat, the punching bag doesn't trigger hand-to-hand combat. And this happens 5 minutes into the game. This is the closest I can get to hitting it. Anyway, let's move on to a blue panel, signifying checkpoints in this game. This first one is unfortunately going to start a mandatory text-only plot dump I'm going to skip. Some of it literally retells the intro cutscenes. Here's a loading screen. They still work as checkpoints, but we only get them when we enter a location. Inside a location, we have to rely on manually placed checkpoints. And the developers are not good at this. These barrels are a very exciting piece of lore. Oh yeah, the mines work in this one. And that's it. One shot and the whole minefield is gone. Now I want to give you a sample of the dialogue.
Lisa, what's going on? Did you find security?
Guy's sleeping on the job. Permanently.
Great. Can you see anything else?
Nope, nada. But I figure old Rusty wasn't killed by a faulty alarm.
Stay put. I'll be there as soon as I can.
Yeah, but... whatever. Can't hurt to scope it out a little.
Still trying to desperately figure out the map button. Alright, we can stick to walls in this one too. Except if you do, you become a very easy stationary target. Okay, it's checkpoint time. Every time you hit one of those, the game shows us the map, which is also stolen from Metroid Prime. And it's all 3D and amber and shit. These people really haven't had a single original idea in their lives, had they? Our inventory also got downgraded to a play-to-network interface. And now for our first fight. Notice how the targeting reticle wanders.
Are your kids still eating?
Lisa, maybe you should hold the gun with both hands, love. One positive to this is that the bullet will hit whatever the cross is pointed at, so you can be very accurate if you time the shots right. Finally, I found the menu buttons. It's a D-pad. Now let's go. The bodies not just stay in this one, they also drop their stuff. Here's our first disguised loading screen. It doesn't checkpoint us. And it takes much, much longer on a real console. Ah, locker rooms. There are lots of them. They are so convenient because you can decorate an entire room with one bench and one locker model, and have an excuse to drop an item there. And that guy disappeared from the scanner.
Sector secured. Nothing to report.
Stay alert. They'll be sending a headhunter any time now.
Oops, I'm spotted. So, are you noticing a major change from the first game's combat? Our pistol has limited ammo. Which means that after every fight I have to stop and search the ground for their guns. And if I don't do this routine, I start running out of ammo. Oh, there it is. Why the fuck did they take the simple but dynamic mechanic from the first game and made it all slower? You'd think Metroid Prime would have taught them that infinite ammo on your basic gun is a good thing.
Say goodbye to the lines and wrinkles with Novaderm, the all-in-one beauty treatment.
And now I'll demonstrate the stealth attack.
Novaderm contains 100%
I'm pretty certain that being interrupted at any point of that animation means the guy only gets knocked out for about 5 seconds. Let's move on. Let's go down this ladder.
Our farmers are turning today's problems.
And into this room. There's no exploration, this is the only open room. And now the game tells us to go back to the yard where we took the ladder. So we get to move through the same 3 rooms, fighting the same old enemies, but in reverse order. Long story short, I kinda like the enemy models, and the shot sounds are not too bad. Very metallic, but still fighting his ass. Unlike the original Headhunter, Redemption seems to encourage open area fighting from time to time. It does work. Somewhat. Obviously the limited ammo means you can't really pray and spray now, which sucks. Fuck collecting ammo. Let me show you the game's first inventory puzzle I mentioned a while back.
Fortune Heights. Luxury apartments with 6808 based total raw automation.
A power station requires a power cell to work. Makes sense? And here's some platforming. This is one of those games where a medkit takes time to heal you, by the way.
All clear in this sector, but they lost the Headhunter.
Keep your eyes open. The Headhunter has to be stopped at all costs.
Oh, a new gun. This time we find them in the field. It's an AK, short for auto kill. Now I need to get down. How do they combine guns lying on the floor with rotating pickups?
Today. Remember, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy and a rat.
And why does this thing have enough power to maintain a laser beam grid on the door, but still not enough to power that power station? So let's see what the power station powers.
Rami, you're above.
A sliding door. And here's the room with our last checkpoint for the recording. The previous checkpoint was 5 minutes ago and a few fights back. So if you die in this game, you usually have to redo a bunch of stuff and wait through several door loading screens. So I'm not a big fan of this one. And there isn't even a payoff in the form of the news. And we actually ran in a circle and came to the other side of one of the doors that was locked earlier, to go through another previously locked door with a new keycard. But fuck that. I'm not going any further because I think there is a boss there, and he's a boring heavy enemy with a big gun, and I've had enough. Instead, listen to the closest thing we get to the news.
Kids getting you down? Feel like a break? Why not send them to the farm? Summer camp at the Citizen Farms is free for all registered teens and guaranteed to improve motivation and behavior patterns. Treat yourself today. Send them away.
Well, that sounds like a bright future indeed. Well, let's get back to the real headhunting business. I hate this bike. I've played through No More Heroes recently. Another game with a tackled-on bike mechanic and a mostly pointless overworld, but at least they did try to do something with it. Headhunter doesn't even have a collectible, it doesn't even let you get off the bike. No shops, no side missions, no nothing. Our last Layla.
Once more for luck. Approach the VR terminal to begin the test. Giving up already?
So they call it a motorcycle control test, in a game where motorcycle controls are broken. Oh, it's another one of those where the checkpoints are spread out and you need to figure out the perfect path. It's a shame that during these VR sequences our menu, and by extension our map, are disabled and unavailable. So I hope you remember the city well. Something occurred to me during this challenge. The checkpoints are placed at turns kinda on the outside of the turn. Basically, you can't go through them fast because the optimal path will miss the checkpoint frame. I think we'll be seeing it next. See here, if I wanted to turn I would have passed to the left of the marker, but there it is and I have to ride into the wall and slow down. There is no way we can fail to be under the time limit now. Nice, put the marker away from the turn I need to take. Good job. There is a fence right behind that one. Ah, shit. This test. So the four guys are standing back to back. For some reason, my dangly bits can only attract one of them at a time. Damn it. The hell? Even throwing one right in the middle of them triggers only a single guard. This stealth system is completely broken. How do you even code it like this? Isn't it easier to just make everyone within range come check out the noise? Unless they check whether each enemy on the list is within range and stop the check the moment they get one. Fuck. Oh, by the way, this stealth challenge, nothing of this kind exists in the game itself. What? Ah crap, I quit by accident. It just starts getting on your nerves after a while. This is so stupid. But it worked. Come on, turn, I know you want to. Would you believe it? The last weapons test is even worse. What's the new gun today? It's a bazooka. Correction, a guided missile launcher. It's not a good weapon. Oh, and the enemies are very grenade heavy here. Think Call of Duty 2 levels. Oh, I probably should start using cover. Oh wait, no, then I'll be hit by every single grenade. You've probably noticed that enemy grenades have a targeting outline around them. You can shoot them, yes. We'll be seeing it here in one of the attempts. Though usually it's not advisable to shoot a grenade with a rocket. That's the right way to do it. It's incredible how boring killing 10 guys with a rocket launcher is in Headhunter. Yes! And now I'll just show you the successful run of the final test. After that, yes. Doom, this is not. And they don't give you the bazooka for this test. How could he miss? We're so done with this shit. And this unlocks more reading. Apparently the police or whatever have an extensive file on biotech listing its shady dealings and its involvement in human experiments, secret weapon development, mind control. But then the guy who filed the report went insane. So his case closed now. Here's a file on our ENP bazooka. The ammo is scarce, they say. And how? And combat suit, another inventory extension, and body armor. The goggles in you. You don't know that yet, but now it's night time. They've actually put some effort into this. The lighting changed, the skybox changed. It's not just dimmed light, surprisingly enough. Although it looks like Jack's bike glows in all directions. But I'm not going to show you around. Let's see for how long the player normally sees the Night City. Not counting the circle I made at Layla, you'll get here in under a minute. So the whole night drive could have been a short cutscene. But no, let's have an open world. Willkommen to Biotech. It's a tiny map and it's the last time we're in this fucking bike. Okay, we can't go in directly. But here's this path not marked on the map. It happens to be the right way. But I'm feeling crazy, so let's get out of here and see where the official marked path on the map takes you. So this is a dead end which doesn't even end with a gate. Anyway, let's get off this sodding bike. Ooh, I love sewers. And here we can see our new outfit. Fabulous. This map looks strange. In particular, this huge room in the middle. I wonder what could happen here. Let's try the goggles on. If not in the sewers, then where? Okay, let's put on the shades. And we're off to the big room where there won't be a boss fight, I swear. I just realized they did leave the tank controls in. That's what you get by holding down the aim button. Except you still have to shoot using the shoulder camera.
Jack, wait, as I live and breathe.
How's it going, Hank?
Peachy. Here I am, here you are, didn't even have to break sweat chasing you.
Sorry to spoil the party, Hank, but my bail bond's been paid.
Call this one a loss leader. See, Mr. Sharp would kinda like to see you dead. And I'm kinda cozy with that, too. Next up, I get to replace that fossil hawk as chief.
Good to have goals, Hank. But how does a number 2 headhunter get to be chief?
Okay, smartass. We'll see who's second best. The headhunter way. You walk that way, I walk this. Count of 10, turn, and start firing.
A duel, huh? Sure you can count to 10?
Wait, what? Well, finally this Dreamcast game is cutting the crap and ripping off Shenmue by throwing in a QTE out of fucking nowhere. Down in one shot, huh? Lucky for us, Hank's voice actor has another character in this game. So, yeah, you know how some games set up a fight against someone with similar skills as an epic, dynamic and memorable mirror match? Well, here's a QTE. It is bloody memorable, I can tell you. It's the only QTE in the entire game. I think they were planning a proper fight here, but it turned out shit, so this is the replacement. Also shit. And now watch this. Yes, Hank's corpse is part of level geometry, much like the dead people in the mall. I love it. Okay, we're done here. Wait, what's that? Two clips which are really one. Jack, use it. We're about to enter the final location of the game. It's pretty big. And we'll be getting funny looking enemies now. The pistol is more effective than the machine gun at any range except point blank. Nice, a whole map dedicated to Labradors.
Wade, you make it in?
Sure. Where are you, Chief?
Floor B1. Set your VM to track me, but be careful when you get down here. They've got heavy surveillance and infrared lasers set up around the elevator. Do you have thermal goggles?
I'm a regular Boy Scout.
Use them. Get here as fast as you can, but watch your back.
Yes, Jack, there's sort of a camera behind your back, and the guy on the other side controls your every move. I don't think that did anything. Why, thank you, subtitles. I can't read. This had better not turn into a Parasite Eve, or a fourth birthday. Oh yes, with our expanded inventory we can start picking things up again. Oh fuck. Their guns are incredibly shit, and the armor also helps a lot. So, boys and girls, this is supposed to be a lab belonging to a big research company. Now, I don't know about you, but having a periodic table on the wall and some old sinks and shit lighting, and colored liquids in jars and test tubes, doesn't quite make it look the part in my book. If anything, it looks like a bad school lab, or a bunch of random chemical-themed props for a porn shoot. You can tell it smells of old rubber and piss. Let's check out the doors downstairs. I thought of going out to get a checkpoint, but I can't for some reason. Oops, forgot my key upstairs. What century is this key from?
Look over there. I'll take this direction.
Here's the one point where stealth is almost fun. Suckers. Okay, Chief, we're coming. Alright, the lasers. And so, coming up next time, do you remember the night vision system from Hell Forces? This is what awaits us. Lots of purest eye-straining green. Snake, you really let yourself go. Wait, how the fuck did I lose a skill point? Get me out of here.